All right, hello everyone. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Hope you're getting on the course a lot. Here's me and Matt. We're playing on Friday. We're playing the back nine at WAP. This is Friday morning, early morning, 8 a.m. team time for us. Before I even get started, I'm going to mention this is the only time I'm going to complain and mention, but I did forget my sand wedge, my go-to around the green sand wedge. So every little chip up, I am using with my pitching wedge, and you'll see me struggle with that a lot. It's like I don't have any feel with that club that I hit 160 to try and like chip around the green with it. It just it explodes off the club face. I'm trying to hit it short. So we'll recap this hole. I'm not going to do any yardages or anything. We're just going to do a little fun video here. Right now, so I ended up hooking my drive way left. That was a theme the front nine. I couldn't figure it out, and it's kind of scary to think that my so you can see there pitching wedge out of the sand. That's not something I'm comfortable with doing. So we'll complain about it a lot, and then hopefully I don't complain about it that much during the video, but I might get over it. But anyway, I kept hooking my drive for some reason, just like hooking them 50 yards to the left and putting them in a tree. That's what I did in this first hole. I don't know. It's scary to think that I have the potential to do that in any given swing because that's just a loss of a stroke or two. Like I hit a couple out of bounds as well, so that's just not good. But if you stick around for the end of the video, I drove the ball really well and I played well the last 6 holes. I think I put up like an 8 on this first one. Not the best. Not a great hole to start with the camel on you
Yes.
and stuff. Not great. But you're going to have to stay tuned for this one. This is probably the greatest shot I've ever hit in my life. It's not this one. Okay, this one I overdraw it and I hit it over in the trees. But this shot, so I'm up against a tree and I have to go, I take one of Matt's clubs and I have to go lefty. And if you've ever played WAP, you know this green. I perfectly one bounce off the rough and this green slants so much downhill to the
You
right,
fucking
and it
kidding
just
me.
was an absolutely perfectly placed shot with a lefty club, and I had a root behind me, so I couldn't even take a normal swing. I had to like chop down on it, and it was so
Yeah.
good. Like probably the greatest shot I've ever hit in my life. Just one of those like 1 out of 100
Oh,
chances of happening. It just happened. Like couldn't I would never be able to do that again. And this putt is it doesn't look hard from that angle in the shadows, but it's so downhill, like swooping to the right. So that putt was all about speed. I could have hit it wherever I wanted to, just with the right speed. I didn't have the speed right there. And again, I pulled this one, pulled it into the trees. I don't know what the heck was going on, but it hit a tree and it bounced back and it rolled back at me like 50 yards. So I'm way out here. I'm like 200 out. I tried to hit a draw. I need to just start hitting the ball straight. I don't know what I'm doing. So I tried to draw, and I think I had the ball too far back in my stance, so it was tough to try and get around that club to draw it, around that ball to draw it. I mean, and Matt had a good drive here, and he wasn't completely dialed from 100 in. Matt had a lot of good looks from 100 in, but he kept leaving a little short with his sand wedge and left himself with really long putts. So here again, pitching wedge I got to go with. There's another complaint, but it was actually a pretty good shot. It just kind of rolled out of the bunker to right there, skimmed out. And my putting was really good today. Actually, I was lagging everything in there really good. I made a couple putts. Hopefully, you'll stick around for those. I didn't miss anything that I should have made. I think so. Yeah, I mean that putting is a lot better, but I'm so used to these greens by now. So used to the speed. So that was I think that was like a 6 for me. Now with a nice 4. And here's where I start playing well. I will go with 4 iron from about 320 out, and I hit a beautiful strike. Look at my feet there. If you rewind that, my feet are so good. They don't move. I've been working on keeping my front foot steady and planted into the ground. And so, take a look at this drive out of Matt. He just gets under it. This was so far right, but it stayed dry somehow, and he tried to go over everything sand wedge. We didn't get a distance on this. He just kind of hit it, and he was a little short. So now, again, I'm like 100 out with a pitching wedge, I've got to try to choke down, and I chunked it. Chunked it like 40 yards. But this is a good shot. So I recollected myself and put it up there, landed it in the rough, and rolled it up like I had to do with a pitching wedge. And then that was Matt's approach. Got caught in the rough there. So here he is again. This would be for his fourth, I believe. And so here's for my fourth. And this putt had a lot of break. You can't see from the side camera angle, but it was fast and with a lot of break. It was a really good putt. And Matt wasn't able to connect with his 5 either. That's funny. Okay, sound up for this one, boys. May have been the best drive I've hit in my life. Not straightest, but just I remember feeling the power off my club on this drive. I've never hit a ball this far, especially on this hole. Matt he hit another top up like sky ball that didn't really go very far. So that's where he was, and yeah, my ball is up by that pine tree that just kind of sticks out. So I drove in there by a good 50, 60 yards. But yeah, this is the furthest up I've ever been on this hole. I just have a 4-iron in. I went right under that branch pretty nicely, and it just kind of kept cutting, but it found the bunker and splashed out of it. So I was sitting lying 3, just just on the edge of the green, so that was a good position to be in. However, what club do I have to use? That's right, I got to try and roll a pitching wedge up there, and I have no touch with it at all. Just no touch. That goes way past. So I think I would have had a great chance at making a birdie on this hole. And there was a couple others that I would have had a great chance of going up and down if I hadn't forgotten my sand wedge at home. But that's a pretty good leg putt there. Yeah. Oh, I was supposed to crop this out, but I always want to get a habit of making it on camera. Oh wait. Oh, this is the one I cropped out. Okay, shoot. Oh, well, I don't care. I don't give a crap. I don't give a heck. All 2 videos in there. You'll live with it. Alright, here's Matt. Good solid putt. I think that was his 5, so we both made 5 on that hole. Par. The hardest hole in the course. 400 and about 60, 460, 450, maybe teaser playing up a little bit. Yard par 4. Matt drove his way left in the trees. Not way left, I guess, but just left in the trees, and he punched out there. Missed his drive. Sorry, Matt. Now he's about 170 out. Goes 8-iron, I remember, and he just hit this so clean. Struck it perfectly, and that was the problem with that shot. Sent it over the green. And so I'm about 170 out. I go with a 9-iron. Another beautiful shot. Struck it perfectly clean. Instead, I had my distance right, and I was about 15 feet out. But here's Matt from way over. And probably all he could do from back there. You get a bad lie too, but check this one out. Hardest hole in the course. Give me that 3, dude. Little Kevin Malone point. How are you? Thank you very much. And Matt will make got to make it 6 on this hole with that drive in the woods. This is about a 170-yard par 3, and I kind of overdrew my 8-iron. I might have hit no, I did hit an 8. It landed on the back of the green and kind of rolled off. And then Matt had better distance with his, so here I am trying to play a pitching wedge. Caught that one too strong. It's tough. It's tough. So this is another one I would have had a better chance of going up and down with the sand wedge for a par. But I had almost no chance of making this putt. I mean, I did, but in the fringe, like, whatever. And I left it way short. But you've seen me miss these ones in the past, and you're not going to see it on this video. No, you are not. I was dialed. I was money. That stinks. We're going again tomorrow. I'll get probably not get another video up tomorrow. Probably might be the last round of the year for me in Minnesota. This is a great drive. I smoked that ball. Absolutely smoked it. Matt had a good drive too. We're both on the fairway. you can kind of see my ball way up there. That's how much I smoked it. We usually drive it relatively the same, but sometimes I just absolutely get a hold of it. And that's what I did there. But
hello.
again, have to play a little running up pitching. And it kind of caught that hill weird and rolled way up. I don't know. I think we're going to be done complaining about it. I mean, I've already complained about it so much. And it's the 17th hole anyway, so fine. I'll just keep complaining about it. Yeah, that one's tough. We know it slopes down past that pin kind of suspiciously, I don't know, but this is a pretty good putt. It's rolling backward. Have you ever seen that putt roll backward? That's insane. This is kind of a difficult putt
Yes.
with the. You can't hit it on the shadow line. You have to play the break more. If I'd have hit on the shadow line, I would have missed it. I had my drives figured out by this point, and it just kind of cut. It got a little unlucky. It bounced in that fairway, and since it was cutting, it kind of rolled across the car path, and it ended up landing on the car path. So I had to take a drop. Not a drop, but just unplayable by the car path. And Matt just absolutely lost his so far left. And then he played that. Tracer wasn't right on that shot. He was about 200 out. I went to 5-iron and I smoked it. But better to miss club up than to leave it short, I guess. So this is Matt's his actual third shot, even though he drove it just out of nowhere. And make a good pitching. I mean, it was a fine effort, but I knew exactly right when I hit it what was going to happen. It was going to roll all the way down. Oh well. This is for Matt's fourth. So at this point in strokes, I think it was. So I'm on the fringe over here in the rough. I had to go up and down to tie, I believe. And there we go. Found the touch. Found the touch with the pitching wedge. Knock her home. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging with me. Hope you guys like the videos, and yeah, I mean, I love it. Love the feedback. So thanks, guys.